Namaskar, I am Kumar Rakesh and you're watching Global Governance News TV. Today we're going to discuss the Omicron, the new variant of the novel coronavirus that was a COVID-19 created by China, propagated by the Wuhan Health Organization. That is a new format of World Health Organization. And the new variant is just already WHO has just released so many releases about the Omicron. And they really announced 77 countries is spread and role of media and how world economy, including the India economy, is going on. If you see the status, what is going on, this the Omicron is spreading at unprecedented rate at WHO claims. I'm not saying the says. New coronavirus variant Omicron is spreading across the globe at unprecedented rate, the WHO has warned. Cases of heavily mutated variant have been confirmed in 77 countries. I think main countries, the origination countries, the South Africa, they are going to control. The maximum cases were 99, now going down day by day now. And earlier, in press conference, WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom said it was probably many others that had to be detected. Dr. Tedros said he was concerned that not enough was being done to tackle the variant. Surely, we have learned by how now that we underestimate this virus at our peril. Even if the Omicron does cause less severe disease, the sheer number of cases could once again overwhelm unprepared health system. So the latest data suggests variant first detected in South Africa in November. This is a December, can be treated with existing vaccines and carries a higher risk of the reinfection, leading the organization to say level of risk remains very high as so many states and countries trying to claim for the booster doses. And India also going to talk of the town, city that should be. And if you the 8 lakhs Americans have now died from the coronavirus. Latest, the highest recorded national death toll from the global pandemic. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson won backing for the COVID passes in England, despite the biggest revolt by the members of own party since he became PM. UK government also announced on Tuesday that all 11 countries on its travel and list to be taken off. Health Secretary knew the revolutionary Sajid Javid said the Omicron variant had spread widely. The rules no longer had much purpose. Italy has extended state of emergency until 31st March 2022, citing concern of Omicron, because as earlier we know, the most affected country of the world, that was Italy, earlier the good friend of China also. The measures which are due to expire at the end of December give the government more power to limit travel and public gathering. Netherlands says it will close primarily schools a week before the Christmas holiday are due to start is a preempting way to tackle the infection. Norway has announced a ban on serving alcohol in bars and restaurants, among other measures. And recently, 1 day before, I think today, news conference, Dr. Tedros concern. I think this is the latest one. If you know, yeah, this is today latest release by the Dr. Tedros. Reacted concern about the vaccine inequity as some countries accelerate rollout of booster shot in response to Omicron. And so many studies by claimed by the Pfizer and BioNTech vaccines would produce far fewer neutralizing antibodies against Omicron than against the original strain, but the deficit could be reversed by a third booster jab. And many details has been given, but as we see now, and if you see the fully vaccinated country, the worldwide and total doses. So China, I'm not going to details of China, but now India, Bharat, that is 37%, more than 40% has been totally vaccinated. 133 crores doses has been given. I think more the double doses more than 40%. US 60% only. Brazil 65, Indonesia 37, Japan 78%, and Mexico 51, Russia 42%, only vaccinated, totally vaccinated, fully. Germany 69, Pakistan, I think not to discuss, but 25%, Vietnam 59%, Bangladesh 26%, Turkey 60%, UK 69%, France 71%, Iran 58, Italy 73, Thailand 62. This is all the data. Spain, I think, I looked, you will all come from the 81% only. South Korea 81%, Argentina 68, Canada 77%, Colombia 51%, Malaysia 78. But look, if you see, analyze the data, not any part of the world has a fully vaccinated as a percentage as we have analyzed due to this global vaccine rollout of the coronavirus. So I'll just take Dr. Vinny Kantru, how just you see the whatever the hue and cry by the media just about this all team created here. And now I welcome Dr. Dheeraj Kaur also with a special busy mode. I think not, I think saved properly. So busy man, always just too active. And Alok Lahar here from Spain. So I start from Dr. Bini Kantru. How just you see analyze the situation in India?
Well, at the moment, if we see in India, we actually have 50% of the population now who is doubly vaccinated against COVID-19. And that is a very good number considering our population. We are a people of 140 crores. And to complete such a kind of vaccination, going to every nook and corner of the country, it's a very difficult terrain in some parts of our country. So still we have at least covered 50% of our population, which is really commendable. I'm really thankful to all the healthcare workers who have made it possible, especially the nurses and the paramedics who went to these corners and vaccinated these people actually. If we see, on the other hand, we had a lot of infections happening in the country, and when we did our sero surveys here in Mumbai and Delhi, already we saw a good large number of people having antibodies against the COVID-19. So the population which had antibodies already in their sera was somewhere more than 70%. In Mumbai, in some of the slum areas, it was more than 95% even. So, a part of our population is doubly vaccinated. A few of them have already had the disease. So to say, we have a large coverage of the population, which is really commendable. But as we know, these variants would come into picture because respiratory viruses are known to mutate. And now this Omicron, which has been labeled as variant of concern by the WHO, and rightly so, because it has about 50 mutations which have happened overall, and 32 to 33 of them are on the spike protein. The spike protein is the one which this virus uses to enter your cell. Now, to have these kind of mutations have an effect on the population which could go the wrong way, this needs to be seen in a larger population. We have data pouring in from South Africa where we have seen the infections have been milder, but still, we should not be taking things easily because the population which was vaccinated here in India at first was the one which was at risk, which was age more than 60 years. So our elderly have actually crossed about a year of having been vaccinated against COVID 19. Whether this immunity lasts longer, including the T cell immunity, I'm not talking of the B cell immunity only, because B cell antibodies are something we check in the laboratory. Now, that also, the anti spike antibodies and the other antibodies which are commonly available, if that is only important is a big question, because T cell or the memory immunity is equally important, and it does provide you some kind of protection against any variant. If we see with influenza also, if you are vaccinated against influenza, uh, the chances of you going into severe disease are very less. Yes, the scare is concerning because of the large mutations, whether they will go the wrong way and will cause a lot of problem in terms of severe disease and people requiring hospitalization. The time will tell, but the best thing is that we already have the armamentarium in hand, which is physical distancing, masking properly, and keeping your hands clean. So, even if there is no antiviral at the moment as we speak, 1.5 years post the start of this pandemic, at the moment also we do not have any efficient antiviral available against COVID-19, but we all know that simpler things in life can save us from any kind of variant, and that is as simple as keeping a distance and masking yourself. So the public at large is advised to play caution and keep their guards up, because we have children. About 30 to 40% of our population is comprised of children, and we have elderly at home who need to be protected, and also the population which is immunocompromised. Now, immunocompromised people, even after having 2 doses of vaccination, sometimes do not mount the adequate amount of immunity against this virus. So we still might be having some kind of susceptible population, and considering we are a large population, a lot of people getting affected at the same time, especially during the winter months setting in, can cause a problem with hospital systems and healthcare utilization. When we have a large number of people who require hospitalization, we might be in a problem. So, at large, it might be a milder kind of presentation, wherein we have seen from the data which is pouring in from South Africa. But even in that population, certain people, if they go on to be in a situation where they need hospitalization, the number can be large. So we still need to keep our guard high and exercise caution. That is that would be my take home message today also.
Okay, so nice of just the details actually. As we know, in India, Bharat, there is only till today, I think this update by the 20 hours, 8 or 8 p.m., 68 cases only. And most the major cases in Kerala and Maharashtra is still death toll also. But although Alokji, just Spain only vaccinated 81%, that's a good ratio, better than America and other developed countries, and the South Korea also 81%, but not the 100%. What is small countries, and India are just going to the more than 50%. So I'll take the after that. I'll take details for the worldwide. How is it going on? 70 countries are spread, two, three, five cases, whatever. How it is really uh, uh, just to fear about that, and just to control about that, just take care of that, just take the already precautions should be take just to uh, uh, control this Omicron virus. Unmute yourself, Alokji.
Good evening, Kumar Rakesh and fellow panelists. Spain, very different from rest of Europe. Why? Because we have very extensive nightlife. The restaurants are open. Uh, you can go to discotheques. You can, enjoy life the way you were doing it. The only things you have to do is, one, you have to carry your vaccination, that you have been double vaccinated. So in case you have been, then you can enter any nightclub or any restaurant or wherever you want to go. In the streets, we do not need to put the mask on, but once we get into premises, let's say a restaurant or a shop or a metro train or whatever, wherever there is lots of people joining together, then we have to put our mask on. You have to put on the wash your hands and all that stuff, which Viniji has said that you have to follow. This is what they're doing right now. There's this scare which is coming up, like the doctors are saying we should be more careful. The Christmas shopping is there and people are outgoing, and lunches and dinners are there, because normally it's a tradition in Spain that and in rest of Europe as well, that at the end of the year the company throws a party where it invites all the employees. So they have been cut short. They said we'll not be allowing that. So which the host, the restaurant chains and all that, they are protesting that this is good business for them for the rest of the year. So government should not be taking action on that. Otherwise, the why in Spain it is not 100%. Think because Spain does not buy its own vaccination. In fact, the whole process of buying vaccination in European Union is controlled at one central point, and then accordingly it is distributed to the all the rest of the member countries. So there was a time when there was a dearth of vaccines. Right now, they've also started giving the senior citizen the third dosage. So they're working, which is the group which is slightly difficult. It is the young boys and girls, you know, kids and youth. There is a trend that most of them are not even interested in getting themselves vaccinated. Lots of them, they are. I'm not talking about people who are ignorant. They have seen, and even if you see the reports, for example, the first case which was there in the United States of America, which was on 1st December. I'm talking about the latest variant. It was a person who had already been vaccinated twice. So what they're saying is that you get vaccinated or you don't get vaccinated, you're still the result is
Same.
the same. So there is a very large group of people in Holland. There were protests where they say like this should be our own choice. We should not be forced to put on the vaccination. And then it also happened that in France there were lots of healthcare workers who had been through all these variants from alpha till delta, and then they suddenly realized that lots of these health workers were not vaccinated and they didn't want to get vaccinated. And then France it imposed sanctions on them. Even some of them were laid off. So there were nurses and all that who were crying because it's a matter of their personal choice. If I don't want to get vaccinated, but it's not working like this. So there is some kind of a forcefulness. For example, if I want to travel and I don't have the vaccine certificate, I'm not allowed to board the plane.
Yeah, that's the
Apart
point.
from the
Yeah,
fact
that's
that the COVID test has been done. Or for example, if I want to go out with my family and I don't want to get vaccinated, or for example, let's say I have somebody in my family who's not vaccinated or doesn't want to get vaccinated, then I can't take him to a restaurant. So it is kind of forcing in a way uh, uh, that everybody has to get vaccinated. He wants it or he doesn't want it.
okay.
So which is the problem? That's the reason the 100% people have not been vaccinated. It is not that now they don't have vaccination. And strangely, what they're also doing is people who were earlier vaccinated in the beginning with AstraZeneca, the booster dose which they are getting is a Moderna. So they are
Okay.
intermixing vaccines and all technical things. Then Dr. Dheeraj will say, and I'll tell you
Yeah.
about the things.
Okay, so nice of you, Alok ji, and I'll check just a time of break. I'll check Dr. Dheeraj ki how booster dose is required and not, how the Omicron really just going to be the affect the globe again like the corona, and whatever scientists has claimed is not so much powerful this variant as was the COVID-19 was there. So many questions with Dr. Dheeraj. This time of break. After break, I'll take the Dr. Dheeraj. Welcome after break. Just we're talking about just Omicron role of media also and the impact on the world economy. How just economy affected last, I think, more than 24 months, and the world stopped. First time we have seen just road, but just pin drop silence on road. Any road you can see, either America, either in Italy, either in India, any place, whatever done by the drone and the plane. So and animals were on the road and people in the inside. This is a, I think you can say, uh, this is the effect of the power of the nature. Dr. Dheeraj, how just a new variant, just you have done the so many research and doing so many associated so many research institution, always keep an eye in the latest data. Do you think this Omicron all really affect the uh, community and also affect the immunity, whatever people have at present, whatever WHO claimed, and how it is spreading now?
Oh, I'm sorry, my mic was mute. Thank you, Kumarji.
Please.
Actually, week is off for me, but I'm still working from home, mining the data. And as we were speaking, I was looking at certain data coming from California based on the numbers. So, coming back to, I think, what Dr. Kantru was talking about with immunity. It's a very important concept. A lot of vaccines, which are second generation vaccines, are targeting T cells. If you look into two, three other companies, I don't want to name them right now because it will be propaganda. So they are actually more catered towards T cell invocation. So T cells are two types. I think it's for regular people, so I'll not go into depth. So T helper and T killer. So basically, what they do is B cells. Basically, for layman, it's making antibodies which will attach to the cell and also work with B cell immunity. And B cell has memory, so in case there was a recent article in New England Journal a few months ago, which actually I spoke on different interviews, which was showing after a few months, the T cell the antibody titers start dropping. But there is no study backing up looking into whether the B cell itself can trigger that response when the infection comes. And the new data is showing the level of antibody titers are important, but equally important are the T cell titrations. So currently we are not measuring T cells, unfortunately. So now what is happening, the importance of T cell, because T cell will see, the COVID virus is actually going in cell, hijacking your replication like a photocopy machine of your own nucleic material, and it's making
Okay.
its copies and leasing. So what T cells are doing, they are directly destroying that copier, that cell which is making many copies, right? So now T cell immunity is very, very important. And now more and more clinical data from Japan, from Australia, from Hungary, recently a report came, which is showing that how we can boost T cell specifically with certain medicines. It is absolutely true. We don't have a very effective antiviral drug, but there are three in pipelines. Again, I'm not allowed to speak on those because again, it's under review. So it will be interfering with that data. But promise, I can assure you within 6 months you will have two drugs which are coming, which currently looks like very, very promising. Number three, what's going on with Omicron? Like Dr. Cantru very rightly said, it has many mutations. As of today, it's 65. And most of those mutations, see, when viruses multiply, replicate, they mutate. It's normal. Certain mutations help the virus to multiply, to grow further. Certain mutations don't help. The ones which help, they sustain survival of the fittest. Now, the problem is when you have immunity against virus, when you have vaccines which are causing, which we call basically active immunity, vaccine induced versus live viral induced active immunity. So, virus also learns how to escape it. And that happens in people who have weak immunity. It stays in their body for longer time, learns the immune system, understands how to evade it, and passes this information to its offsprings. And those offsprings go to different bodies, then do this again and again, and eventually they find a way to reduce the efficacy of the antibodies or the immunity acquired from the first variant. For example, if you talk
Okay.
about the initial variant which came from Wuhan, it doesn't exist anymore. It's very, very rarely seen, alpha variant. Then we had beta variant. Then we had many other variants which you guys don't know about. Then Delta is the one which was the, till now in US, most people are dying from Delta everywhere in the world. Okay. So Delta variant is very deadly. Now, what we talking about Omicron? Omicron variant, actually, the spike protein, the largest number of mutations on the spike protein is seen on Omicron. As of yesterday, 32 to 33, 33 I want to say, because one more is under investigation. So assume 33. Now, what is happening? Why is it of concern to us? Now, imagine 2 years ago, the virus showed his face with a spike protein on top of it. And you are identifying the virus by the spike protein, right? And your vaccines are also identifying by the spike protein. So what happens? The entire world, most of the vaccines, exception to the rule is Covaxin, which is the dead viral vaccine, and few other vaccines, are using spike protein to identify the virus. So whoever got the initial vaccines, which are again targeted towards the initial strain of COVID, these are not targeted towards Delta. So the efficacy of the vaccine has decreased significantly from 95 to 75. And with current Omicron, we are expecting it may be slightly lower. Conclusive data is still not there. Another 10 days, 2 weeks, I think we will have more data. But what we know for sure, it passes on way faster than any other variant, including Delta. On top of that, the speed at it, the timeline, if you remember, you had to be really sick with the initial variants for 2 to 3 weeks to cause symptoms, and Delta reduced that timeline to 10 days. Delta also infected younger people with healthier immune system way more than initial variants. Omicron is doing the same thing. The only difference is the current cases which we are having are in young people. Young people's immune systems are way more robust. So there is a bias in this data. That's why I don't like to talk about this data till the N, which is the statistically significant number, goes up, the number of patients enrolled. So the number of data we are having is very small. That's why to journalize it is not right, specifically when you see the patient population we are seeing in the hospitals. It's younger people,
Okay.
their outcomes
Okay.
are better.
Okay.
So allow me to finish, because everything I said will be lost if I don't finish. Okay, please. So it's very important for people to know Omicron is not a joke. Omicron should be dealt with seriously. Yes, it is true. It doesn't look currently that it is more deadly or causing more people to get hospitalized when you compare it to Delta. It doesn't cause more ICU. It doesn't cause more mortality when you compare it to Delta. It's very important last words which I said, because Delta itself is dangerous. We have seen what has happened. We have a bigger population. We have a bigger problem in America than in India you are dealing with. In America, there are 65 million people who are refusing to be vaccinated. If you are not vaccinated and you have not seen the virus and your immune system is weak, God help you. This is a deadly virus. So that's why California today mandated that you cannot walk out without of masks. And I think that should have been done way earlier. Mask has to be a way of living on this planet Earth till everybody goes through. Eventually, this virus, we hope and pray, will not outnumber our efforts of vaccine development and becomes like a common cold virus. Every year we
Okay.
get a shot, and
Okay.
that's how we go. Till then, social gatherings should be done judicially. If you really need to go to office, maintain the masks, maintain COVID appropriate behavior, and for God's sake, get your vaccine. And last thing, whoever is eligible for booster, specifically immunocompromised people, should get it. Kids 12 to 18 years old, definitely their data is very robust. They should get it. I have been requesting on different platforms, Government of India, hopefully they allow it for 12 to 18 very soon, and give a booster shot to immunocompromised people, geriatric patient, heart failure, kidney failure, diabetes. It will save life. New data is showing third dose of any vaccine will increase your immune protection against Omicron
Okay.
as well.
Okay, okay, okay. I'll come to you again. Just we have Anita ji from Bharat and Vandana ji in USA. How just you seen the created? I think seen the information given by the Dr. Dheeraj call. You also doing the America. Vandana ji, do you think that I think you have taken the booster dose and many people are going to take the booster dose? Is it the required one? Do you think the most of people, I think America also and other parts of country are not following the corona guidelines just to protect themselves?
Namaskar, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Dheeraj, for the input. How our community here in itself is taking it very, very lightly. Wherever I've been going, I got my booster on November the 15th, actually, and I got my parents the November 23rd. We just wanted to. I did had some chill on the booster. First time and second time, it didn't impact, but the third booster was like really giving me chill for a day. But it was okay. I just took a Tylenol. And, but community is in a party mode, and which is very very means like actually alarming. And I have two parents. One is my father, who's going to be 95 in February. My mom is 85. I'm really scared, so whenever I go, I'm always wearing a mask, to be very honest with you. And everybody, Vandana ji, क्यों मुझे booster लगा हुआ है? Vandana ji, नहीं हम लोग को लगा है. Because but I don't know the all the people, those who are in there, because they are themselves not wearing, and they are not liking me wearing the mask. That is what. And then what happens, lot of people, Kumar Rakesh ji, not like me very strong, they compromise, Anita ji, because am I odd in the lot कि मैं mask लगाया है, others are not wearing it, so let me also take it off,
My
like
lipstick is not good and my eyebrow is also not looking due to the mask. This is also some story is coming out.
yeah, because I cannot do my makeup, my lipstick and all. But
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
wanted to say, even now, I think the government of India's directives and all, I was just 3 days ago, I was in Indian consulate, Janjatiya Divas. So Consul General, he said, I'm not going to take off my mask. I said, very good. I mean, like, because we should be respecting each other. But then some say, oh, photo nahi aata theek se. Are bhaiya, zinda rahenge to photo aata rahega. That's what I keep telling. But as you brought this subject up, how to, because Dheerajji, you know that the people, those who have got even the booster, they are also getting this Omicron. So where do we stand? I mean, like literally, and coming back to the role of media, because you said that it is now
Yeah.
the role of a media, which is very, very crucial. We have already completed 2 years plus, 2 years plus when it initially started. I think the names, this all kind of A, B, C, and Delta and Omicron should all be zipping virus. Why not that way? So that it should
Yeah.
be alarmed.
Yeah.
Because this is sad. Because when
Yeah.
we are not naming, so people are still getting away. And this is their economy is boosting by this virus also when it needed. That is the sad part. Like, you kill me first, you give me a shot, means you shoot me, and then you try to heal me with the same medication that I have to pay for it. That is
That
the.
is a role of media, just you are saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you
So,
so
so I'll
much.
say, Anita ji, just very, very nicely question put by the Vandana ji. I just want to discuss the role of media. Do you think the role of media just to communicate and just to control and just convey to the people as well from the government and from the private side is really judicious, just to inform the people how just Dr. Dheeraj Kaul said and Vandana ji said and all of this said. Do you think so?
I will talk about India regarding this Omicron. Yes, this
Yeah.
time Indian media is playing a very responsible role regarding this. They are not spreading any kind of rumor till date, I can say, and they are
This
not
time,
showing.
not previously.
No. I'm not talking about the Delta. But they are because the death has not started. Na? Only 33 cases in India. That has not
68.
started.
Total 68 cases till now, till today. And most of
Okay.
the cases in Maharashtra and Kerala. Yeah, I'm updating
Uh,
you, please.
but my request is to government of India, please, ye, be assertive and effective, and you should stop the international flights for some time, because we don't know who is bringing and who is the carrier of this Omicron. So if we will not do the pre-precautions, what will happen? We have faced in Delta also, and the COVID-19 first stage, we have seen that what happened. India was very in a very casual mode, that very late they have taken the decision that we should stop international flight, and we should take this kind of care. But by by that time, the COVID has spreaded like a bomb, and it was spreaded every part of the country. Same thing has happened when we have opened the international flight during the second phase. Before the second phase, immediately after that, the COVID has spreaded like hell in on the name of the Delta in India. So before this Omicron blast takes place in India, the government should take strong decision and please stop the international flight, because all
Okay.
the rules and regulations, it's not enough. We have to take care of our people. We cannot compromise with the economy again, that yes, everything is should be locked down, and uh, industries should be closed, shops should be closed, and we have to be room arrested and house arrested, live our life like that. So we are not in that stage. India is going in a very smooth manner. We are following all the protocol and norms of the COVID. Still, people of India, they are wearing masks, they are maintaining the social distancing, they are using sanitizers, and they are keeping themselves. Maximum time I have seen when I roam around the road, that people are doing their work, but they are in a corona with the corona norms. So
Okay.
now this time, this is the duty of the government. They should take a strong decision, stop international
Good.
flight, because we don't
So,
want any more variant of this corona in our
so,
country.
so nice. Dr. Bini Kantru, just do you hear me? Dr. Bini Kantru, I think She's not
Anita
listening.
ji, so many weddings happening in India. I have not
Yeah.
seen means like people wearing masks and stuff like
No,
that.
no, but most of they are trying
Maximum
to
time I
manage
have
the
seen. I have attended 3, 4 weddings, and people are with when they are in Bharat and when they are in. You cannot say that yes, Jamal ka stage mein bhi dula dulan is in mask. Maybe that is not, but maximum time they are following all the norms.
yeah,
I can see the
mostly following.
responsibility of the
Mostly
Indian
following.
people and I salute them कि ये
Yeah,
हमारी काम वाली रोज आती है रोज मास्क लगा के आती है उसके उसका हस्बैंड जब आता है वो उसको लेने के लिए वो
yeah.
ऑटो चलाता है वो मास्क लगा के आता है सो
Most
आई
not
फील वेरी
everybody.
प्राउड दैट दे my
Most not.
citizens are very
Most not.
behaving
Most
like a
not.
responsible citizen this time.
So, Dr. Vinikantru, how just you think the network one? Dr. Vinikantru, how just you see the role of media? This is only the last round we are taking from the role of media just for the aware the Omicron and other virus as the role of government.
Yeah, definitely, media has a role to play in terms of propagating the information that people need to exercise COVID appropriate behavior. As Anita ji was saying, that our people are still better in terms of wearing the mask. If you see in metros, people are really aware that they have to maintain distance and they have to wear their mask. But now, when you go to two-tier cities, which I had recently been to, you won't see many people wearing the mask. So that is something which should be discouraged. Actually, people have stopped wearing mask, and maybe rightly so, because we all have mask fatigue, lockdown fatigue setting in after 1.5 years. It is difficult to maintain wearing a mask for large part of the day, but still we need to propagate this message. At the same time, sometimes when media indulges in inadequate information being propagated, that should be prevented actually. And also, the vaccination awareness needs to be brought in. There are certain sects in the population which are still averse to take their second dose of vaccination here in India also. I would say, as compared to the Western people, we do not have so much of vaccine hesitancy, but still people at large in some parts of the country, they are actually averse to taking of vaccination, especially the second dose. Even we have seen in our OPD that people come to us saying हमने एक भी dose नहीं ली है. So that is something which is a deadly combination. If you have
Yeah.
unvaccinated population who haven't suffered COVID at all, so those are the people who are not only going to be harmful for themselves per se, but for other people also, in terms of letting these various variants to propagate into the population and penetrate these kind of variants into the population. So that is something which needs to be
Okay.
brought in. Yeah.
Alokji, a role of media and just how economy. World economy also, as you see the from sitting in Spain and European perspective, I think the economic India is growing, and but I think my apprehension, some other neighbors, just whatever China country, others, they don't want to highlight that aspect. Just trying to highlight the different tools, Omicron and the virus and all. So that is a 140 crore just population, 68 cases. Okay, but simultaneously, as Dr. Dheeraj said, and many said, we have to take we have to follow the corona guidelines. We have to take the precautions. How do you analyze the two things: the role of media, economy, and this? What is the impact and effect of Omicron in the present circumstances?
Okay, now there are various aspects which I like to touch. And I don't think if I have the available time for this. There was this joke about this virus which said this virus spreading more through media than through actual propagation. That is one thing also. And why this is happening is because today morning I was seeing an interview by our previous Minister of Health, who himself happens to be a doctor, and he said that which was very alarming to me, and it sent me thinking for some time. He said, like, all these big officials who are there in pharmaceuticals, or let's say in the European the body which controls drug, or let's say WHO, they have this role in which they are on a rotating door, which means at one time they are into these world bodies, and then when they they are released from there, then they join as advisors to some of these pharmaceutical companies. And he very categorically said that in case of the chicken flu, as we called it, the pharmaceutical companies actually marked a goal onto the governments because lots of these vaccinations were bought which were never given. And apparently it's so. And he also mentioned one thing. I said there were pharmaceutical companies who were contacting them and saying that we will do a pre-pandemic dosage for you, we'll give it to you. Now, where is the catch? The catch is, first of all the pharmaceutical companies, they want to give it to you in writing. If something goes wrong, we are not responsible. And the second thing they're doing is, it is given free of cost, but actually it is not free because the money is being taken from the taxpayer's pocket. So the pharmaceuticals are getting them, and media plays a very important role. So what he was saying, the question which was asked to him by the journalist was this, that why would they be doing it? They are very well qualified doctors, and he says these people are very well prepared. When they come and talk to you, they're so convincing because they know their stuff so thoroughly well. But are the doctors at fault, or are these people who are actually working, the researchers, at fault, or there is this MD or the GM of a company? For example, there are two facts. One is that the Pfizer's president has not taken his first or the second dose. This is out in the press. Then another second fact is that even India, the production of, it is being reduced right now. For example, they said by 1.8 billion dosage we already have. With this, we can vaccinate the whole of the country. So we are going to reduce our production in India by 50%. Why are they doing it? In case there is a variant which is coming up, and it could spread like, flu. So we are coming back to what Trump said. He said, you shouldn't be caring about it because it's a flu. And finally, we're coming down to the same thing and telling everybody that it is almost like flu because the spikes which are there, they have been able to
No, no,
identify
no, no.
them.
Indian pharmaceutical companies, they have given the proposal to the government about the booster dose also, and as per the data, as much as required doses we already have. So why they will surplus? They will produce surplus things to waste the product. If we will get demand from the market, it will come.
Anita, there is a story for the booster doses, and there are also the pressures from I think the pharmaceutical companies and from the government side.
No, what is happening is the doctors are asking the government to, do a policy so that younger people should be given a dosage. Now, this is
as
what
Dr. Dheeraj mentioned, Alokji, as Dr.
it
Dheeraj
is for the
mentioned,
government and the officials to decide which vaccine should be given, how it should be given. I'm certain it is not Modi ji who sits in his office and decides. He has a complete, he's got a complete battery of doctors advising him, and these people are probably one of those who cannot be corrupted. So I think, the demand is not coming from, they're not telling it from the top. For example, out here, the doctors are saying that Christmas festivities should be controlled. The politicians are saying no. Why? The reason is because the economy is going for a toss. I might not die of COVID, but I'll die of hunger because, I'm...
Alok, the time is running out. My request is just I'll take the Dr. Dheeraj. Just a very brief question.
I just want one question to Vinny also. Vinny ji is from India and she knows of all the what kind of the preparation is going on, because the day before yesterday only we have the health ministry's brief to the media, see what kind of preparation they are doing for this new variant, if it will knock the door of the India. Vinny ji, please brief we all that what is the preparation, what are the myths which are floating, and what is the fact. Just 2 minutes from Vinny. Then we will go to the Dheeraj also.
I would just like to add one fact with which Alok ji said, that why we are keeping our vaccine production low. Alok ji, just it has a shelf life. So last time we had seen a lot of doses could have been wasted because the shelf life is low. We cannot be producing vaccines at large, because if we are not using them, they'll all get wasted. And my opinion is the first generation vaccines to be used as a booster are not going to be so much effective as the second generation vaccines. So, Anita ji, as you asked, so we need to have a lot of discussion going down this lane before we
Yeah,
offer
yeah.
the
This is
booster
also the policy
vaccination
matter
as a
decided on the
mass
government of
policy.
India as well as the expert of the ministry. I'll
Right.
just take the
So,
brief of the Vandana ji and Dheeraj ji. I just thank you, Anita. Just you asked the question, but that is not a small answer. Your question is very big, and we need the answer. And I know Dr. Dheeraj's answer should be so big, but we have constraint of time also. We have also maintained that the time discipline. Dr. Dheeraj, just to briefly tell you about the comparative study of the role of media, but it's not a brief, but do it satisfied with the role of media either in USA, either in India, any part of the world for the Omicron. Unmute yourself, Dr. Dheeraj, and I'll take
Attached,
Bandana. Yeah.
I'm attached with media, as you know, since the start of COVID here and in India as well. I would say, I think they had a very critical role for people, letting people like us who are at the latest updates to convey it to healthcare community as well as laymen. It's a very critical because millions of people watch it, so we can update them and make them aware. Can it be better? Yes, I think it can be. The quality can be improved.
Okay, thank you. Vandana ji, just
Yeah,
how just to analyze the situation now.
not,
As the only, this in
yeah.
USA, only 60% has been vaccinated. And so many protests also in USA, apart from the other like the states.
See, media can now play a role of educating people also, not to play a politics on this. This is not a democratic vaccine or republican vaccine or congress vaccine or bjp vaccine, to be honest.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
that's what your vaccine is, my safety, my mask is your safety, if
yeah,
we
yeah,
live with that. So they have to bring more of it to educate people. Like,
yeah.
I trust science, and I trust, and I want to say thank you to Dheeraj ji and the fraternity. Thank you.
So nice of you just to have discussed the role of media in the world economy, and I will again discuss. I hope so. Just pray God that whatever Delta, Beta, Gamma, and Omicron type virus should not be spread like that. Whatever they have been propagated, the different tools of the media and different lobby, if any. But as we live in India, Bharat, and USA, and Spain, any part of the world, we should take care of the all just from these viruses with the adopting the corona guidelines, social distances, sanitize ourselves time to time, and maintain the social distances. And these are the tools that they can save us. I think life is very important for all of us. If we are just living in this world as a living creature. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay blessed to all of us, to me and all the world for the better world. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.